When we went over to South Korea to pick her up, she was 4 months old. And then we held her. It was magic. I felt, this is family, beyond the step, the adoption, she was like part of the family. She just felt like she always belonged. All through her childhood, very, very happy, smiling, laughing. Her brothers and sisters just love her, taking her everywhere, playing with her. Just not a problem at all.
It was a really happy childhood. I did a lot of fun, crazy little kid things. And I've been dancing since I was 6. I took jazz ballet, and I did Tahitian and Polynesian dancing.
It was right around 11 years old. It was really a tough time. The family was going through a lot of rocky, my wife and I were having a little bit of a rocky period, and it just all kind of happened at the same time.
My dance teacher died when I was about 11, and I'd been taking lessons from her for 5 years, and it was the first time that I really truly had to deal with death. All of that, I think, just kind of put something in me, and it kind of started it. I think I saw my first therapist when I was 11. My parents had an even harder time. There's a lot more fighting. I started feeling less in control around that age. I was trying to help my parents' relationship at the age of 11. I really couldn't have done anything, but I was still taking it and making it my problem. I started thinking something was wrong with me because I couldn't fix my parents. And then I started latching on to different friends and trying to fix them. I started hanging out with people that had some problems too, and being oh, I'm gonna be the one that saves them kind of thing. And then when I couldn't save them, then what good am I? I felt hopeless. I started just acting out. I drank and I partied a little bit. I would sneak out of the house once or twice, and I hung out with some older friends. I was kind of promiscuous. I didn't act like a 13-year-old should. Then I kind of became a loner. I remember sitting in the bathroom by myself eating my lunch. I know that sounds so like something you'd see in a movie, but I did that a few times and just sit in the school bathroom for 40 minutes while it was lunchtime because I didn't really have anywhere else to go.
It was very, very tough. It was just so abrupt. And then we find out later that she was diagnosed with bipolar with a rapid cycling is what they classified it as, which I guess meant more extreme and quicker swings. And we were seeing that, but we just didn't know what it was called at that time. So it manifested itself in many ways.
Things just got worse, so I decided that I wanted to kill myself. I would just take every pill I could find in the cabinet. I would take I think I was on Wellbutrin at the time. I swallowed the rest of my Wellbutrins, Tylenol, liquid NyQuil, anything in the medicine cabinet I would just take. And I remember one day I was so mad at my parents, and I took lipstick and I wrote some message that says I hate my life and living sucks and stuff, and then I just sat in the bathroom hoping that I died that time. I remember them telling me that I was unconscious and they had to keep on giving me CPR to revive me, and how it was just, they were just surprised I wasn't dead at that point. And I remember feeling upset that I wasn't dead and confused on why I kept on living and why I could do so much to myself and my body, and yet I was still alive. I just kind of went in and out of mental hospitals for a good 6 months. I barely went to school because I was always in and out of mental hospitals. I went to one of them 3 times in a month and a half. I celebrated holidays in mental hospitals, New Year's Eve.
So she'd come home for a little bit, and at that time, each one of the places, I think, would slap on another drug of some sort. Along the way, she was on Prozac, Abilify, I can't even think of all the different ones that she was on. And towards the end, it was just so heartbreaking because she was like a zombie. She wouldn't even turn her neck. She would just it was just, everything was stiff and rigid, and she would just walk around real slowly. And it was so hard. Getting to me right now. Frustrating, you know, we're trying to do everything. Yeah, really. So we did what we could, and right around that time, we were referred to Devereaux.
Oh God, I hated it. I went through the admission process again, and it was kind of like, oh great, this other place, same questions. And I just was like, I really don't know what this place is gonna do for me. And I met Dr. V.
Oh, you know, I'm just an old lady and I care about a lot of my kids, all of my kids actually. And I tell them that all the time, and they say, you don't know me, you don't know what I'm like. I thought, it doesn't make any difference, you know. I can see what you're like and I can see what's good about you. And you have to believe that.
You need to work your program here. You need to do this. You need to, you know, be open and talk and stuff like that. And like, I don't think a psychiatrist has ever up until that point been like so straightforward with me about that. So it really kind of scared me. And I was like, she's all like, and I'm gonna be your doctor and you're gonna have to do this and we really want you to do good though. But there's rules and all that kind of stuff and we don't put up with your kind of actions that like ended you up here.
This is what's different about Devereaux is a lot of treatment facilities try and control behaviors, which is what the kids present with. And they consider it successful if their behaviors are improved. But it doesn't get down in the inside to what's really bothering them. They aren't really in touch with their feelings.
When Rebecca got here, we dealt with her on an emotional level. We dug down deep with her, the clinical staff and Dr. V, and we also had very high expectations for her. We didn't let her think for 1 minute that she was going to be able just to kind of relax and have a holiday, that the work here was going to be hard and that she could do it, and we told her that we believed in her.
These kids have zero self-esteem. If you ask them, and I ask them regularly, tell me something good about yourself. And they say, there isn't anything good. And I say, oh, I could think of 4 or 5 things good about you in a heartbeat. So for a little homework assignment, I want you to write 10 good things about yourself every day for me, and I'm going to collect them. And it gets them started to think about what is positive about them instead of focusing on what is bad about them.
I started trusting people, and they gave a lot of positive reinforcement, which is really different. Like back in some other places, you're always like disciplined if you did something bad. But if you were behaving good, you never really got rewarded. You were just like, oh, you're doing good. But at Devereaux, it was like, you can go on like trips and you got to like just do better stuff. You could stay up later and you could they had a lot of positive reinforcing things. It didn't focus too much on the negative.
But when she began to believe it, she really began to grow and learn a whole bunch more about herself and what she needed to work on, not just while at Devereaux, but you know, for the rest of her life.
I just saw this great change. Just the spirit, her spirit was coming back. You know, I mean, everything that made her fun-loving, social, caring. Yeah, it just, you know, that had been gone for a few years, and it was coming back. You could see it, hear it, and yeah, I was thrilled. I was thrilled.
Been through a lot of different facilities and a lot of different placements. I've seen tons of different therapists. I've taken so many different medications, and no place was like Devereaux. They helped me, they cared about me, they listened to my opinion. Like, I honestly felt like they were invested in me and my well-being. It wasn't like I was just another, you know, 16-year-old walking in because I was unhappy. It just felt like they cared more. It felt like people paid attention to me. It felt like they wanted to promote the positive things, not just punish me.
In terms of where Rebecca is today, even with the dips in, you know, progress, even on her worst day, she's a total success.
My name is Rebecca Stacy. I'm 18 years old. So I guess today's my high school graduation. I didn't really think I would be here for this day. Well, now that I'm here in this gown with the cap, I'm amazed, overwhelmed, and completely nervous.
I'm just so happy that like I've been given this opportunity, and I just like am really thankful that like I can go to college and that I'm still around to work at a coffee shop and drink coffee every day. And I love my life right now, and I totally have, like, I did it on my own with help from Devereaux.
They go back to things like, I would be dead if it weren't for Devereaux. Or they say, I never thought I would graduate. Or get to go to prom. Or do the normal things that teenagers get to do, that young people get to experience. You see them grow, you see them learn, you see them accomplish their goals, and realize that they're worthwhile.
I think I made a lot of bad decisions and that I wasn't exactly the person that I wanted to be back then, but now I am the person that I want to be. After I came home from Devereaux, I made huge changes in my life, and I could have never made them if I never went to Devereaux. Yeah, I'm filled with hope.